After a great offseason for the Florida Gators men's basketball team, the expectations are as high as ever for this year's squad. Welcome back to Sports. I'm JT Santos. With today being men's basketball's media day, this is the first day that the new and improved Gators really get exposure in front of the cameras. With potential impact players like grad transfer Kerry Blackshear Jr. and five-star recruits Scotty Lewis and Trey Mann joining the already experienced group, many projections have the team finishing in the top 10. However, head coach Mike White still has a lot to learn about this team and sees a lot more potential in store.
Who's going to lead us? Consistency, work ethic. I could go on and on and on. I mean, do I like our roster? Yeah. We've got 9 new players. So I think in 2 weeks we'll be a lot better than we are today. How good will we be by December, early November, mid-February? I don't know. But we've got a lot to work with. I'm not going to dodge that.
The Gators will start off their season against North Florida on November 5th. Staying in college basketball, the NCAA has charged basketball powerhouse University of Kansas Jayhawks with lack of institutional control. They also charged head coach Bill Self with head coach responsibility violations. Including these charges, the Jayhawks basketball program has been charged with 5 Level 1 violations, the most serious under NCAA rule. Officials from the university have 90 days to respond to these charges. Kansas recently released a statement disputing the allegations presented by the NCAA. The Florida Gators football team continues to prepare for this week's FCS matchup against the Towson Tigers. With the Gators slated to face 4 straight SEC teams after this weekend, including 3 teams in the top 10, it's not hard to look past this week. However, head coach Dan Mullen emphasized the talent of Towson and wants his team to focus on this week in order to prepare for the tough schedule ahead.
They're a very good football team, you know, when you look at them. And, you know, obviously playing one of the best conferences in their division. Obviously, there'll be a lot more hype on next week's game, you know, national hype. It'll be the CBS game of the week. But for us to even have an opportunity to win that game, we have got to improve this week.
The Gators host Towson Saturday at 4 p.m. at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. With 5 games left in the Tampa Bay Rays regular season, the team clings to a half-game lead over the Cleveland Indians for the second AL wildcard spot. The Rays are currently a game and a half back of the Oakland A's for that top wildcard seed and home field advantage for the wildcard game. After finishing off a series win against the Red Sox, the Rays will now take on another rival in the New York Yankees tonight to begin a 2-game series. The Rays are 5-12 against the Bombers this year, giving them a tough matchup. Now, on the other hand, the Indians will be taking on the Chicago White Sox, who have definitely struggled this season. Yanni Chirinos will take the bump for the Rays over at Tropicana Field tonight at 7:10. Now, it was a feline frenzy last night as 2 local powerhouse volleyball teams squared off. The Beholds Bobcats hosted the Forest Wildcats, with Forest taking care of business after dropping the first set to win in the next 3. With the win, Forest moves to 13-2 on the season, while Beholds drop to 10-3. High school volleyball continues tonight. The Bronson Eagles will have a tough matchup tonight as they take on the 9-4 Trenton Tigers at 6. At the same time, the 5-7 Dixie County Bears match up against the 12-2 Brantford Buccaneers. Hawthorne and Eastside will also battle it out at 6, while the Williston Red Devils take on the PK Young Blue Wave at 6:30. Finally, tonight at 7, Beholds looks to get back in the win column tonight at Santa Fe, while Gainesville looks to take down Ocala Forest.
JT, thank you. Before we go, let's take one last look on the weather.
See, 24 hours ago, it's significantly warmer than it was yesterday. 7 degrees warmer here in Gainesville, Stark, and Palatka. Around 6 degrees warmer in High Springs and Bronson. 7 degrees warmer in Tallahassee as well. And as we head into the overnight hours, that will remain consistent. You can see overnight lows are significantly warmer than they were yesterday. Tonight, though, dropping down into the upper 60s, low 70s for most places. The low 70s towards the First Coast, stretching down to the Space Coast, upper 60s for areas inland, under mostly clear skies. Taking a look at the rest of the first week of fall, you can expect more dry conditions, humidity levels increasing, and that's all due to that high pressure circulating that warm, dry air into north central Florida. Here's your 6-day outlook showing the warming trend extending into the rest of your week with temperatures well above normal in the afternoon and in the overnight hours. Back to you.
Thanks, Nicolette. BBC World News is next, and the PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7.
Our news team will bring you another show tomorrow at 5, but your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a great night.